Hey everyone, this is Uri for Guerrilla Poker, and today I want to talk about something that's very related both to online play and live play, and that is table selection in poker. This is one of the most important skills in poker, believe it or not, a lot more important than many other things. And there are lots of myths and lots of misinformation and wrong perceptions about how this actually works. So what I'm going to try to do in this video is clear things up a bit and provide my perspective on the subject. One thing I hear from a lot of guys who don't want to table select is, my ambition is to get to the highest stakes in poker, and now I'm going to face the toughest players. So I don't want to look for softer games. That's what people say. I've heard many people say this over the years. I don't want to look for softer games. I want to play the tough games so that I train against the correct opposition and my game is good enough to play high stakes when I get there. Makes sense, right? I'm sure, some of us go to play for fun. Obviously, table selection is not necessarily for you. You would have different criteria. You're looking for a fun table. But when you're playing from a more competitive standpoint, and even for fun players, like winning money is fun, table selection is super crucial. And I'll show you guys why by talking a bit about numbers. So just for this example, we'll look at a six-handed table, say at a low-stakes casino game. And in a six-handed table, you have to remember there's always a seventh player. The seventh player is called the casino. If you pay 5 BB per 100 rake, everyone does, so the casino is taking 30 BB per 100 out of the game. This is kind of the starting point. And if all the players at the game are at close levels, nobody is going to have a win rate that's high enough to beat the casino, which is fine. You're still practicing against tough competition. But the crucial element that you're missing as you're training against professional players is that all of the games at the higher stakes always run around a recreational player. Sometimes people reg battle, but because of the rake and because very often people know who the best player is, these are not most of what's going on. Most of what's going on is a game that has a big losing player. It always has the casino as a winning player, and you want to practice your skills against people who are not professionals as well. It's also a big part of poker. If you have everyone kind of evenly matched professionals and you have a casino, everyone's losing, and these games tend to not run because professionals come here to win money. Now, almost every game with professionals is going to have at least one recreational player, sometimes more than one. And there are various archetypes of recreational players. Say player 2 is some drunk guy losing 100 BB per 100. Suddenly this transforms into a profitable situation for everyone rather than -5 for everyone. We have an extra 100, so everyone can win at 15 BB per 100, which is great and really fun for everyone. But here you get to kind of see the two conflicting skill sets. They're two very different skill sets. As hero, let's say you want to win more. You can try to win more versus the 4 professional players. And here the edges that you get will often be you manage to win a few extra BB per 100 against them. This is an extremely important skill set. Definitely the approach that I use in the Red Line course. Try to find people's weaknesses so that you can gain win rate against them. But the weaknesses of professional players will generally be smaller than win rates of recreational players. So the place in this table where you can actually get the most win rate is by playing better against the weaker guy. There are plenty of ways to do that. It involves a lot of creativity. There are actually very few videos explaining how to do this and giving you examples about how to do this. But when you're looking at your overall win rate, maybe you win more from these 4. Maybe you win less from these 4 and you win more from the -100 guy. And maybe there's a -60 guy and winning against him is actually an even different skill set. Basically, table selection is not only more fun and more profitable, but you're also just developing a well-rounded skill set. How to play in table conditions where one of the players is very loose or very tight, or making very obvious mistakes, and the entire dynamics shift around this. It's very important to know what to do against all the different types of players. Just kind of pluses all around for getting to a good table rather than getting to a boring one. I think, if you're just playing a boring tables against regulars, especially in a casino or something, you might as well just go home, do something else. Play a practice session against some computer program or something. Review hands with friends. This is not a productive use of your time. point I'm trying to make is table selection is actually an extremely important skill set. If you're telling yourself, I just want to play in the toughest games, to develop the correct skills, you're actually doing it the wrong way around. You're developing half the skills, you're neglecting half the skills. The softer the games you play, the more you develop your skills against recreationals. The tougher the games, the more you develop your skills against professionals. But in terms of your win rate, when you get to high stakes, I'm not sure that playing well against professionals is even more important than playing well against recreationals. One of the biggest winners I know at high stakes is actually not particularly good at playing against professionals. He's just very good at playing against recreationals. Different skills, but table selection is still extremely important. And even though kind of bums me out to sometimes do this, but let's say you get to Vegas, you're all ready to play the 10-20 cash game or the 5-10 cash game, and there's only one seat open, the table doesn't look particularly good. You sit down, you play for a few minutes, it's kind of a boring table. I think often the best play that you can make is actually to get up, call your parents, do your taxes, do some bills, do your college paper, homework, whatever you have to do, call your wife, call your girlfriend, go to sleep, do some exercise, and play at a different time. Like table selection is even just picking, saying the table's no good, I'll use my time in a different way. I'll study poker, I'll watch the Guerrilla Poker Redline course, I'll brush up on my GTO preflop ranges. Like there's tons of productive stuff you can do to advance yourself as a poker player. Of course, playing is the most fun, but playing bad games is not a very good use of your time, and very often you're just better off doing something else. So that's pretty much what I wanted to get to you guys this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It's not the most beautiful side of poker because poker is a predatory game. If you want to go into a competition where you're betting money, you want there to be some bad players in a competition in order to win money. Like this is just the way life works. One of the beautiful things about poker is there is no getting away from the harsh realities of life when you play this game. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.